Oh my goodness. Now, it's still cold, but it's getting better, man. Right? March is on. Man.
Yeah, here, who knows what March. One day it feels like, and the next day it feels like. Yeah.
So how was your St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, well, it was good. Did the whole traditional thing. We had the corned beef and potatoes. Had some dark beer.
Little Guinness.
Little Guinness.
All right. So my boys who play rugby, right? There's an Irish bar in the neighborhood that hosts them, and I went. The problem is you can't get in, right?
Oh,
Irish bar,
yeah.
St. Patrick's Day, right? But because I'm with the rugby team, I come walking up and I'm like, I'm with the rugby team. Oh, go right in. They walked
nice.
right in. The team had their own room in the back, right? And it was the bagpipers, the Irish dancers,
Yep.
right? And then and all that Irish music. Then I'm done till next year, right? I grew up. My grandmother, right? She was from the Irish side, Irish music all the time. My grandfather, be quoting the Wolf Tones, right? Go after England, go America, go Ireland. Right, but I had a blast, and I thoroughly enjoy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, there's a hotel not far from here. Mm-hmm. They have a wake.
Oh, yes!
Finnegan's Wake, I think they call it.
Yes.
And they actually have a coffin out. And then volunteers lay in the coffin. And then there's somebody who walks around they get a tent. It's huge. And there's somebody dressed as St. Patrick, and he walks around blessing people. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's funny, I read about that in the paper last year. I know, the paper thing you open up and read.
Now see, me and the missus, we went out there a few years ago.
Okay.
Heard about it, never been there.
Mm-hmm.
It's local, it's big, it's huge. Well, Mrs. is like, she struggles to hit 5 foot,
An under tall American.
She's compact.
Fun size.
Fun size. So we go in there, and it is wall to wall people, and the music's loud, and I was afraid I was going to lose her. I really was. So we
tie a balloon to her.
We couldn't even get to the bar to order a drink.
Wow.
It was that full, so we had turned around and left. But it was good to experience that much of it.
Wow. Like I said, I read about that in the paper. I'm like, that seems
crazy.
Like something cool.
Yeah. Valley Hotel.
All right.
Look it up.
For 2027, the Valley Hotel. All right. So.
Hey, welcome to Cemetery
I'm like, what's next? I'm like thinking, did we do that already? Okay.
No, we're doing it now.
Doing it now. All right.
Okay. Hey, welcome to Cemetery Cinema. We're your co-hosts for this movie showcase. I'm Doc Dredd, and this is the Mad Darbarian. Wow, we showcase movies from all over history, from the past, from the present, from the future, and beyond. And we have been known to be the king of the independents.
So they tell us.
And why are we the king of the independents there, Mad Darbarian?
Because we begged very well to get people to lend us their movies.
Yes. Our boss goes out of the way to contact people who have rights to movies and allow us to showcase them for you.
He's had a hookup with Troma for a while, which has been great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was last week we had Basket Case, that was a Troma, Rabbit Grannies. I mean, it just... And Troma's great. Uncle Lloyd?
Uncle Lloyd.
Uncle Lloyd. Not Uncle Floyd, he just died. But Uncle Lloyd.
Uncle Lloyd, yes.
All right.
So we're just waiting for the boss to give us a call and let us know what we're showcasing.
There he is. Frankenhooker? Frankenhooker? The hell kind of movie is that? All right, let's find that. All right. Frankenhooker. What are the deets he sent? The Frankenhooker is a 1990 American black comedy horror classic, co-written and directed by Frank Hendelotter. Basket case.
Ah, I knew that name sounded familiar.
The film is an homage and parody of Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein. Stars Jim Lawrence and former Penthouse pet Patty Mullen. Wow. After his fiancée is decapitated by a lawnmower, medical school dropout Jeffrey Franken attempts to resurrect her by assembling the body parts of prostitutes, unwittingly creating a nymphomaniacal monster. Nymphomaniacal monster. I can't wait. This sounds like such a trip. Oh my God. All right. Kids can't watch it, rated R.
Rated R.
Right. Zombie sex. Because hookers, I don't know. Weird themes, scary situations, and gore. Well, parents, toss the kids to bed. Grab yourself a pop. Get some popcorn. Sit back in the recliner and enjoy this week's selection, Frankenhooker. And we'll be back.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh my God. Now, I'm holding in all of the head jokes.
I can only imagine.
You have a chick who's just a head being thrown on a bunch of hooker bodies, right? And then he must have said the word head like 50 times. You know what I'm getting at. I ain't getting there. All right. So, all right. And then, okay. So, great dinner scene he did, right? With the pizza and the wine, talking to his fiance's head, right? And he wasted all that wine, pouring it, into the skull. And it all came pouring out the back end. Oh my God. All right. So the pictures he has are like really weird, right? Up on the wall and all that, right? Her picture over a naked body, right? So what he was doing, right, is after he was showing her pictures of her head on all these naked bodies, right? And basically he was talking to her, because he got the head's still alive, brain's going, right? Trying to talk to her, right? Hey, you would look good with this body, right? Just like that. Remember that?
The thing that wouldn't die.
The thing that wouldn't die.
Yeah, there was the car accident in the beginning, and his fiancée was decapitated.
Oh, yeah.
He goes
the brain that wouldn't die.
The brain.
You said the thing.
Brain thing.
Yeah, the brain. Yeah.
Brain.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he went shopping for a body for it.
Yep. And he had that guy in the closet.
Yeah, the guy in the closet.
Did you like his poem to her? Trying to be romantic to his girlfriend after she got sliced and diced by an automatic lawnmower that he made for her father. Right? And I don't know, a programmable automatic lawnmower to me just doesn't, even though they do have robot lawnmowers, it does not seem like a safe thing.
No, it doesn't sound safe.
No. There are some things that you should just never do.
Man should not tamper with the forces of nature.
Yeah. And what's like the whole time he's boring holes in his head, right? Because apparently, like, he thinks that by doing that, releasing all the pressure of the stress was going to make him smarter or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he did it like probably a dozen times.
Yes.
And like no blood.
Actually, that's an ancient practice.
Really?
Yeah, there's a name for it. Trepidation, I think it's called.
Explain. You're a doctor.
Well, it allows your brain to breathe.
By putting holes in it.
By putting holes in your skull.
Okay.
Remember Scanners?
Again, yes.
Here we go with another Scanners reference. Revok, the bad guy,
Yes.
he had a really cool scar right there
Mm-hmm.
because he put a hole in his skull to release all the voices he was hearing.
No. And did he?
It didn't work.
No.
No. You know what worked? When he started getting his ephemeral injections. But then he could make people's heads blow up.
Bang! I love that commercial for Scanners. You remember that?
Yes.
Hey, Scanners! And they had like a...
It was like 30 seconds, blah, blah, blah. Your blood boils. At 1 minute, yeah.
And then pop! Pop. Pop goes the doctor. All right. So, I love this quote, right? So Jeffrey's out in the crowd with all the, he's all, and all the hookers and all that are out there, right? Jeff yells, he's yelling for the girl, and these people come up to him and start talking to him in a foreign language, right? And he goes, "What are you, some kind of Swede? You talking to me in Swedish in Times Square? Get the hell out of here." His New York accent was spot on.
Yeah.
It was over the top Long Island accent. I loved it. Boss from Brooklyn, what'd you think of the accent? Type it in there. All right. So, writer, director, right? Same as last week, right? Frank Henenlotter, right? He's done a bunch of movies, right? I went over it all last week. He did Slash of the Knife, right? He did a movie which opened up for Pink Flamingos in New York, right? He did the Basket Case series 1, 2, and 3, a trilogy that you guys gotta love. We saw Basket Case 1 last week, great movie, right?
Now, what's the budget on this one compared to? We'll get to it.
We'll get to it,
but compared to like Basket Case,
well, Basket Case was what, $2,500?
I thought it was $35.
$3,500.
Yeah,
$3,500 to make a movie, right? So we'll get to that in here because I'm sure when I have my stats, it'll be in there. But all right, so right, it's starring right Patty Mullen, right, who played Elizabeth, the fiance, right. She's an American actress. She's known for a role in Frankenhooker, right. She did a dual role in Doom Asylum. Ooh, Doom Asylum. And she was the August 1986 Penthouse Magazine Pet of the Month. And 2 years later, she was Pet of the Year, right? And she's one of the judges at Clash of Champions, whatever that happens to be. We were a Playboy family in my house. Right? Penthouse with Robert Guccione, right, was a little bit over the top when it came to some of the scenes, right? Some of the pictures they had. Even though Pia Zadora, right, from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, was in Penthouse, and she was the first person that they showed pubic hair down below. Pia Zadora, Penthouse, 1982. The knowledge I have in this horned head. All right. Then, right, Jeffrey, the husband, the medical student, right? His name is Jim Lawrence, right? He's an actor. He's in Frankenhooker, Street Trash, and King of New York. King of New York was a great movie, right?
That was a gangster film, right?
It was a gangster
was
film.
Christopher Walken in that?
Christopher Walken, but the guy who was
Lawrence Fishburne?
the guy who was the wrestler, the guy who was
King of New York.
Oh God. Anyway, I can't think of his name. Guy was a wrestler. He was Whiplash in Iron Man 2. I can't think of his name.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was in a wrestler. I can't think of his name. Anyway, right. And then he ended up being an usher at the Beekman Theater in New York, right? That's where, he was an usher at the Beekman Theater in New York when he met Frank, the director, to become the star in Frankenhooker. Telling you, timing, synchronicity. All right. Then you have C.K. Steffel as Dolores, right? Right. She's an actor, producer. She was in Seinfeld in '89, right? So she was in the first season of Seinfeld, right? Frankenhooker, the movie, the second half. She was in Ace Ventura, right? 1996. I don't know what she was in that. I assume she was one of the cheerleaders because there's one cheerleader that blonde that was that had the long black hair. She was good looking, right? Now, what did she do? What did she do before she was an actress? She was a volunteer baby cuddler at the Swedish Convent Hospital in Seattle, right? And she ended up stopping because of COVID, right? So she went from being an actress and producer to being a baby cuddler at a hospital. That's amazing. That's a hell of a person, right? And especially with like when back in the 80s when they had a lot of the babies that had AIDS and no one wanted to hold them, right? Somebody like her, that's when they started bringing in baby cuddlers. Helga was a baby cuddler over at the Children's Hospital in Philly before we had kids. All right. Then we had Joe Gonzalez as Zorro the Pimp. Right? He was just a musclehead, been in a bunch of movies, right? He was in Frankenhooker and he was in Brain Damage, another movie that was made by the director. Okay. Now, this is from a review from these guys at The Void. All right? They do all kinds of VHS movies.
You've read reviews from The Void before.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're hysterical, right? Frankenhooker is, without a doubt, one of the most stupid, ridiculous, moronic, pointless, fun, and brilliant films I have ever seen. From the film's opening, which sees our would-be hero working on a strange brain with an eye in it that he keeps in an aquarium with fish, right? And with some ridiculously out of place, relaxed suburban music playing in the background, I knew I was in for a comic treat. This movie features several moments of delicious comic brilliance, such as the out-of-control lawnmower, right? Which, decapitates the fiance. The exploding whores, all the way down to the weather report, which details a storm that is coming. For all you mad scientists out there, there's plenty to make you laugh in Frankenhooker. The mad scientist that was doing the weather was Roland Zachary.
Zachary.
Yeah, Roland in Philly, Zachary in New York. Right? He was the weather guy, dressed as Zachary. Hysterical. Oh my God. Now, fast facts. You're asking about how much this costs.
Yes.
Right? He went from a movie that cost $3,500 to this movie, right, $1.5 million. Apparently he got some backers, right? So the film cost $1.5 million, making it his most expensive film at the time. But there was still budgetary issues. Producers told him he had used up all the allotted funds for pyrotechnics during the exploding hooker scene. Which he replied, "How the fuck am I going to film the lab scene?" He ended up calling in a favor to do some unlicensed pyrotechnics for the shoot. He recalls
the stunt double.
He recalls the guy finishing up the setup and telling him, "Don't worry, it's maybe safe." Call in a favor for a guy with explosives. I got a guy.
OSHA was not involved in the filming of this movie.
I don't think they had anybody overseeing this movie at all. Oh my God. Well, we'll be back. So, what'd you think of the Morton Downey Jr. parody, Big Mouth parody they had on TV?
I remember when that show was on.
I went to see it.
Oh, you saw it live?
Secaucus, New Jersey. And it's perfect for this movie. I went to see it, and he had the editor of Playboy. He had the editor of Playboy, photographer for Penthouse, and a woman who was part of the American I Hate Pornography Guild or something.
Okay.
The three of them on there. And it was hysterical because she's up there and she's like the Miss Midwestern mom talking about how horrible all this pornography is, right? And people in the audience are booing her, right? And then Morton Downey interviews the other two and everybody's cheering and people are saying, show me your boobs. And it was insane.
The thing I remember most about him is just the chain smoking.
Oh my! The whole time.
The whole time.
And drinking scotch.
Half an hour show, he's got a cigarette in his mouth the whole time.
And he had a little thing of scotch on it. He had like a little table where his ashtray was, and a little thing of scotch. And every break, the guy would come and he would fill the glass up halfway, 2 ice cubes. Had to have 2 ice cubes, right? And then he would, as he's smoking, he's drinking, interviewing these people. It was great.
That was like the precursor to Jerry Springer.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
And,
oh my God.
Yeah.
And he was a singer. He was an Irish balladist.
I didn't know that.
Oh my God, his voice was beautiful. They used to have a restaurant in Philly called Downey's, which was owned by his brother, and is also Morton Downey is the uncle of Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
You know. Talk about weird connections. He would come to Downey's in Philly before he had the show, during when the show was on the air, then afterwards, right? And he would sing. Oh my God, he did Danny Boy, and it sounded like an Irish angel.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He's having his party where he makes his crack so he could sell it on the street, so he could afford the hookers, so he can cut them up. And make a new body for his fiance, right? Thing is, the hookers find the crack, right? They all do it. They were at a party with our friend Jeff, and bang, or Jim, then bang, they all start blowing up. And he's walking around going, oh, I can use that leg. Oh my God, I can use that arm, right? She's got nice breasts, and he hodgepodged.
All I'm imagining is like, somebody had to clean up that mess.
Oh my God. That's why the budget was $1.5 million.
Like a squeegee and...
But the guy with the pyrotechnics for the exploding hookers, right? I mean, like the one hooker, like her head blew off and she's still standing there. And then she blew up again. What a great scene. All right, Frankenhooker, you're climbing up in the tombstones, okay? Oh my God. All right, so quotes, right? Jeffy's talking to his mom, right? She's like, oh, Jeffy, I'm so worried about you. Jeff, well, yes, so am I, Ma. Something's happening to me that I just don't understand. I can't think straight anymore. Like my reasoning is all like twisted and distorted. You know, I seem to be disassociating myself from reality more and more every day. I'm antisocial. I become dangerously immoral. I've lost the ability to distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad. I'm scared, Ma. I mean, I feel like I'm plunging head first in some kind of black void of sheer and utter madness or something. His mom says, you want a sandwich? I got egg salad. What a mom. What a listener, I'll tell you that.
Should have offered him some soup, too.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
A little bit of soup.
No. Now, fast fact. Elizabeth, fiance, her last name was Shelley, which is an homage to Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. Okay? Now, right? The movie ran into trouble when it went before the ratings board, right? And you know the ratings board, you know. The director recalls the head of the board, Richard Hefner, calling the production company and saying, congratulations, you are the first film rated S for shit. The producer fought back and brought the feud public. They eventually gave it an X rating they refused it and then released their movie unrated instead. So technically it was an X-rated movie. Now, today it wouldn't be X-rated, it would be NC-17, right? Again, going back to the beginning, kids can't watch the movie, right? But it's about hookers and, what happens when you see hookers. Naked chicks. Okay. Now.
And explosions.
Oh, tons of explosions. Oh, my God. All right. So we have the newscaster, right? So they're talking about the lawnmower incident. What began as a birthday barbecue ended in a bizarre tragedy as in the Ho-Ho-Cuss, New Jersey. In Ho-Ho-Cuss, New Jersey. Instead of Hoboken, it's Ho-Ho-Cuss, right? It was this power mower that brought a quick end to the life of a 21-year-old bride-to-be, Elizabeth Shelley. Like wood through a mulcher, right? Reporter on TV. Like wood through a mulcher, the girthful fiance disappeared beneath the blades of the berserk mower, the center personality raining upon the birthday revelers. In a blaze of blood, bones, and body parts, the vivacious young girl was instantly reduced to a tossed human salad. A salad that the police are still trying to gather up. A salad that was once named Elizabeth.
Nice.
Oh, okay. There's actually an alternate version of this movie, right? Unrated still. It's an extra minute and a half longer, which includes more nudity and violence, especially the prostitutes and the blow-up scenes. Originally not rated VHS, so you could rent it at the store. So if they made it an X, they'd have to put it in the back room, And it's been released on DVD and Blu-ray, right, by Troma and by Synapse Films. That reporter, I'm watching that and I'm laughing because that reporter is serious as hell, right? And then she interviews the cop, and the cop's like, "Yeah, we're still picking things up. Yeah, she's all over the place. She got all over." And then he hears, "What do I do with this?" And the guy in the background is holding up her leg. Oh my God!
It's joking time.
We got jokes.
Jokes.
Oh my God! All right. How did the Burger King get the Dairy Queen pregnant? Oh my God.
I don't know.
He forgot to wrap his Whopper. Oh my God. Who sent these? Oh my God. Terry Helker of Collingdale, PA. All right. Terry. All right. Why are one-night stands with the men like earthquakes? You never know how long they'll last. What's the difference between a secret and lingerie? One's really hard to keep, while the other is difficult to take off. What does a sign say on an out-of-business brothel? Beat it, we're closed. Oh, what did one traffic light say to the other? Look away, I'm changing. Oh my God. What's long, hard, and full of semen?
A submarine.
Submarine. How are push-up bras like a bag of chips? When you open them, you realize they're half empty. What do you call, Teresa? Oh my God. What do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff. Two more. Oh my God. I'm gonna have a stroke. What's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? You can unscrew a light bulb. Oh my God. John, don't fire us. My wife is really mad about the neighbors sunbathing outside. Personally, I'm on the fence. We'll be back.
Friends, have you ever paid for the services of somebody and only to find out later that they were a reanimated corpse? You may be due some compensation.
A little bit of scratch.
I really have nothing. Have you ever been told you were dead in bed?
Have you ever had a problem with a prostitute?
Oh, see, I didn't really want to go there, but okay. Have you ever had a problem with a prostitute?
Yes. If you had a problem with a prostitute, where if you paid the $35 and you only thought it was worth $25, and you walked out with the $10, you can sue this hooker for your $10.
Yeah, but don't call us. No. You have a deeper problem that we can help you with.
Call me.
Yeah, just
call.
Just call him.
I have a side practice, Darbarian's Bordello Legal Action. Stop by anytime. Knock twice, and remember, walk around the counter at the diner to get back to my office.
Yeah, don't call me at all.
The law offices of D&D are not real attorneys and should not be confused as such. The law offices of D&D will represent you to the best of their abilities, but there's no guarantees of outcome in a court of law. The law offices of D&D are no longer permitted to practice in the following states: New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Alaska, Kansas, Idaho, Ohio, California, Texas, New Mexico, and the territory of Guam.
Poor Jeffrey. Oh my God. And Elizabeth too, but whew. And that's super crack. All right? That scene with exploding hookers was classic. I will never, ever forget that scene. That was, oh my God, it was great. But
that's the reason they put windshield wipers on cars.
So, did you think this was like Reanimators with hookers? Remember Reanimator with Jeffrey Combs?
I'm looking at it sort of like the brain that wouldn't die.
Okay.
But a whole lot less family friendly. If you want to call that film family friendly. It's the brain that wouldn't die on super crack.
Yeah.
You know? And it took that premise and it just it rolled with it.
Oh my God. Telling you, sometimes you go with a movie and there's some things just shouldn't have been done. But you gotta admit, I mean, he crafted the perfect woman.
But I'm kind of agreeing with the critic, the one who wouldn't really rate it.
Yeah, it's
just shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've managed to make something that, yikes.
Yeah. So, all right. They had when they were doing the rating and all that for it, right? To get it down to R, which they didn't do because they were they would have had to get rid of not less than 21 scenes. Okay, so they left it unrated, right? And then they had an extended version for the other 2 minutes, right? The director bought the guy, the distributor, right, a box, right? It had a button on it, like the Staples button, right? You press it, right? And every time he pressed it, it would have the Frankenhooker's voice, right? Saying, want a date? Want a date? Every time you press the button. Like, talk about, what a waste of your money. No. But it was rated, okay, it was ranked Killer B Movie of the year it came out, right? On Attack of the B Movie Killer B segment, right? And the Killer B Movie thing, right, rates all these bad movies and shows them, and it's, and they're the place that you would want to, if you want to watch a bad movie, you want to see what their ratings are, okay? Now, Bill Murray, of all people, loved this movie, right? He is quoted as saying, if you see one movie this year, make it Frankenhooker. Murray the director said that Murray had been editing his film Quick Change and hung out with the Frankenhooker crew. After Murray expressed interest in the film, distributors started calling Murray's office and tried to get an endorsement from him, right? Murray didn't return the phone calls, which he wouldn't because he's kind of a jerk, right? Embarrassed that they would abuse Murray's friendliness, right? The director tried to avoid Murray, right? Trying to like avoid them, but not like he's gonna, hey, can you do this, right? But when they eventually bumped into each other, okay, he explained that he was not responsible for all the calls to Murray's office. Satisfied with that explanation, Murray then volunteered a quote that they could put on the DVD box, right? But he just like, I could see him now going, I'm not calling them back. Why would I call them back? That movie's a total train wreck. But, all right. So, what'd you think? What'd you think about this movie, right?
Really, I don't even know where to go. I have no idea. John, what have you put me through? Yeah.
I'm giving it a 4.5 because it was hysterical, and the guy just talking to himself through the whole movie all the time was funny as hell. I loved it. I love this movie.
I'm not a big comedy guy.
No,
and yeah, so
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying the comedy ones that he's getting, like
right.
Frankenhooker, Basket Case, and we could probably go like Caddyshack. That was a great movie, another car comedy, But I loved it, and I will watch this again, and this is in my like top 100 movies that I will watch when I see it around.
Well, I'll be watching Spider Baby when it comes on next time.
Oh, Spider Baby,
and I'll enjoy that.
Yeah. Okay. Man, we'll go to the movies together, but apart. All right.
Yeah, I'll be in theater 1 watching Spider Baby.
And I'll be in 37. Actually, probably theater 666 for Frankenhooker. All right.
You've got mail.
We got mail.
Got mail.
We got a question from Mark McDade of Haverford, Pennsylvania.
I have never solicited a prostitute.
You know what his question was?
I can guess. I can only guess.
Mark, he said, have you ever been with a hooker?
There you go.
You were never with a hooker?
No. Ooh.
Good.
Ooh,
Good
gross.
for you, right?
Oh, boy.
I've been with many hookers. My son is a hooker. A hooker is a position in rugby, right? So the hooker is like the center. Then on either side, that are like the guards, right? They're called props. I was a prop. I held up the hooker. My son's a hooker. He gets held up every day by props. So, yes, I've been with a hooker. Never with a chick hooker. Oh, no, that's even weirder. Never been with a prostitute. I've been with someone who plays the rugby position of hooker. And that's that. Okay. So, if you guys want to send us a letter, tell us all about your exploits with hookers.
There you go. There's the email. Send your complaints to WON.
And you can send questions like Mark here, right? You can send jokes like Terry. And let me tell you, I don't know how they made it through John's looking at the emails, but they did. Filtered down to us. Thank you. Super entertaining. If you want to watch all the cool shows and stuff that we have on WON, pop by our website here or go to our Roku.
Yes, you can go to Streaming on a Budget Roku and just scroll a little bit. You'll find WON-48 if you go to Streaming on a Budget. Or you can just bypass that totally and go to WWON-48's own Roku channel and click on that. And when you do, you'll have two choices. One will be to go to the station, and the other one will be to check out the schedule.
And he updates the schedule it seems like every season. Right, so they just updated not too long ago. I assume we'll probably be updating it again in April for the spring. June for the summer, right? You know, and he has a lot of fun shows on, right?
So there's a chance the schedule may be a little bit off when it comes to our show, in case we're preempted by sports
yeah.
or something else. But if you go to @Cemetery Cinema, you'll be able to keep updated of when we're on and what we're showing.
Yeah. Go out to @Cemetery Cinema on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right? You'll see all kinds of stuff we put out there between stuff that we do, right? Stuff that we do for the show. Something gets put out there at least once a day. If you want to get a hold of this guy,
hey, that's hashtag Dr. Dread Reviews, and you Google search that, you'll find my YouTube channel, my Facebook account, my Instagram. That's about all I'm on. Yeah. But I'm pretty busy. I do Dr. Dread Reviews, weekly show, movie review. Murder Table Monday, which is a Facebook live show on Mondays at 5 o'clock Eastern. Swamp Theater occasionally, where I host movies by it's me and a different co-host, me and Bucky. And Doc's Trailer Park, where I host various movie trailers.
And he's also a kids show host for
WON. We doing a marathon, Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Yeah.
Which Bucky will be debuting his WON-48 debut.
Down a whole afternoon with the Doc hosting. He's going to be like Captain Kangaroo. It's fantastic, man. So if you want to get hold of this guy,
that guy there,
right, @Mad Darbarian, right? I'm out there, and at least once a day I put something out there from the show. I have stuff that I do, right? I go to current movies and do movie reviews, usually in my car, and then I go home and I'll give you my reaction in the car, give you my review when I get home, right? And a lot of the things that I deal with, groups I deal with, one is Delco Horror Haven. And this weekend, right, they are hosting their annual Horror Haven book invasion. It's a whole day full of horror writers, right? And it's a blast. I had 3 of the books that I got there last year. I did reviews on last summer. All were fantastic. One guy, Chris Blake, right? He has written like 4 or 5 books. I've read 2 of them. Fantastic horror movies, murder mysteries. They're great. You guys will love it. If you come, it's in a place called Media, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. Look up Delco Horror Haven. Look it up, and you'll see it. I'll be advertising the heck out of it on my channel.
And don't forget that sometimes after the movie, we go live on Facebook. My show I call the Obit.
And I got Wake.
And then the boss sometimes does it like the next day. And he's...
Postmortem.
Yeah. Yes. So look for that on Facebook.
Yeah. The boss has been busy with his job other than the station. He hasn't had a chance to do it, but he's going to start doing them coming up pretty soon. I can't wait. All right.
Well, here's to another. Oh boy.
Classic movie.
Spider Baby.
Frankenhooker. Some damn good meat. So we'll see you next week on Cemetery Cinema.
Keep it creepy.
Keep it creepy, guys. Aloha.